We're being promised an expanded creative output from Paramount Pictures, at least 15 theatrical releases a year beginning in 2026. But the reality may be that we're simply opening the floodgates for more quantity, not more quality. What's up, Geekly? I'm Kikai Wafra, your Geek Culture Detective, and today we're pulling out the magnifying glass to investigate this latest headline. Here's the core fact. In its recent earnings release, Paramount officially stated that its 2025 film slate has underperformed, with most titles expected to miss their lifetime profit targets. The studio then announced that beginning in 2026, they plan to release at least 15 films per year theatrically. That's a jump from the roughly 8 theatrical releases they had pre-merger. Why this matters to us, the fans? When a studio declares we're going to make more movies, what we should really ask is, do they mean better stories or just more product? Because geek culture thrives on originality, risk-taking, and thoughtful storytelling, not a conveyor belt of low-stakes franchises. So now let's dig in. On the surface, ramping to 15 films seems ambitious and even promising. It suggests Paramount wants to reclaim a rigorous theatrical strategy, reaffirming that cinema still matters in the streaming era. But scratch below the surface and things get murkier. First, the wording, at least 15, means a minimum threshold. They also freely discussed a future goal of hitting 20 movies annually. That raises alarm bells. Is the focus on volume over vision? Because when studios shift into high output mode, creative risk shrinks, safe formulas proliferate, original ideas get sidelined. Second, look at their 2026 slated titles. The lineup includes sequels or remakes. Scream 7, Scary Movie 6, basically derivative comedies / horror. Safe bets. Also listed, The Last Airbender, Legend of Aang, Street Fighter. These are essentially brand name franchises being reused, not exactly the frontier of fresh storytelling. That's not to say every future film is condemned in advance, but the early sign is clear. We are seeing more of the same brands, not a radical creative shift. That plays straight into the easy safe bet territory. Third, the underperformance confession. Paramount admits the previous administration slate underperformed, and they need to recalibrate. When recalibrate translates into make more films, it risks being a case of if one product didn't land, we'll manufacture two. Double the output might just mean double the risk of diluted quality. My take is, as the Geek Culture Detective, I'm skeptical. If Paramount uses this increased slate to invest in fresh voices, bold storytelling, and meaningful cinematic experiences, then yes, this could genuinely serve the culture. But if it's simply about releasing more franchise installments, reboots, and brand extensions because they're low risk, then it's corporate inertia packaged as ambition. Verdict: Paramount's ramp up to 15 films a year is not inherently bad, but it leans dangerously toward quantity over creativity. So now I ask you, Geekly, do you believe this strategy from Paramount will respect and expand geek culture? Or is it just a high-volume cash grab disguised as bold growth? And that's a wrap, Geekly. We've served the cinematic multiverse one last time today. If you loved this transmission from the Screenverse, smash that like button, subscribe, and share it with your fellow Jedi, wizards, or space cadets. Your support can go even further. Consider buying me a coffee. It feels more investigations than a TARDIS on full power. Now, for our next cosplay adventure, should I rock a steampunk lab coat or a cyberpunk trench? Drop your thoughts below. Catch you next week for another dive into the movie cosmos. This was Kikai Wafra for NewsGeekly.